Welcome to the exciting happenings of Coronation Street next week. Events are about to unfold for Abby as she feels she is in terrible danger. On the birthday of her late son Seb, Abby struggles with her grief at the thought of the child. While Kevin returns from vacation with Jack and he decides to give Abby a chance to make amends. When Kevin comes home and he is shocked to see Abby and Dean hugging each other on the sofa while taking drugs and alcohol. It was an image that made Kevin unable to control himself and he asked Abby to move all his belongings out of the house. Dean shows his true nature by stealing Kevin's garage keys. He tried to steal a customer's car, but Abby caught him and jumped out of the car to stop him. Dean was too fast for Abby and ran off with her still in the car. Surprised when Dean pushed Abby down the side of the road. Instead he came to Abby's aid, but with his nature Dean abandoned Abby and sped forward. After Abby was rushed to the emergency room and back to number 13, Debbie warned her she would use alcohol and get drunk and drugged. A moment later, Tyrone felt anxious when he discovered one of the cars missing in the garage. He spots Abby with a bag of wine and suggests that she must have something to do with it. Abby realizes the implications of Dean's actions when Tyrone warns that the business will end if they don't get the stolen car back. Then Abby suddenly met Dean again and she called the police, but that secret was discovered by Dean, which would put her in danger. Later, when Toya called Abby's phone, a paramedic answered and explained that she had been in an accident. A miserable week for Abby continues when she is woken up one morning by the sound of the police at her door. Once Abby had talked to the officers, she decided to get herself some more medicine. Adam struggles to convince Sarah and the police that Lydia has accused him of allegedly moving her apartment into the trash. That will affect Adam's work at his place of work, suddenly when a customer decides not to cooperate with him anymore. Adam then learns that he has been reported to the Adultery Regulatory Authority and could be disqualified in the worst-case scenario. He decided to resign from the company while focusing on making his name clear. Enjoying every second of Adam's problems, Lydia tells him she hasn't finished her destructive behavior yet. In another development, Sam often had headaches when he was repeatedly defeated by Roy at chess. So he will be set up to have him go up against Brian as an easier opponent. Just when everything is looking for Sam, Nick is worried to discover that he has fallen behind in his studies at his school. Aware that Sam's chess had become his priority, Nick banned him from enjoying his hobby for a while. Nick then explains his reasoning to Gail that Sam is using chess as a way to want to forget his mother's death. While Leanne hears Brian praise Sam's passion for chess, she decides that the student shouldn't give up what he loves. Leanne lies to Nick by pretending that Sam is going to an after-school club. But in fact Sam has returned to playing in the coffee shop, not like Nick feels Sam will integrate into life. While Kelly was having a hard time taking care of Laura and she confided in Simon. Simon advised Kelly to have a frank talk with Gary and Maria, but she was reluctant to do so. That makes things even more difficult for Kelly when Maria needs her to work overtime at the barber shop. Kelly did not have time to react when Laura fell, and Maria was extremely angry because she did not know why. Simon stepped in by explaining it all to Gary and Maria, who then talked to Kelly about what was going on. Laura informs Gary that she plans to hire a private investigator to track down Rick. She hopes to get her money to help secure Kelly's future. He recruits Lenny, instructing him to pretend to follow Rick while secretly making no progress. That causes Laura to unwittingly thwart Gary's plan by hiring her own pie. She tells him that Gary was the last person to see Rick alive, leaving Gary with some difficult questions to answer. Emma defies Faye's wishes by continuing to date John, Ted's nephew. Emma loves spending time with John in a hotel bar, but she's afraid Faye will find out. While Amy is pleased with this positive change, Daniel has a headache with his secret. Daniel learns that it was Max who caused Amy's recent ordeal. Later, Daniel tries to focus on his relationship with Daisy by suggesting that they go on vacation together. Another turn of events is when Nikki returns to Weatherfield and approaches Daisy at the Rovers, asking about Daniel. Daisy feels threatened by Nikki and claims that Daniel has moved south. Daisy then goes one step further by deleting a voicemail message from Nikki on Daniel's phone. The maid's deception is later revealed when Nikki crosses paths with Daniel at a local school. Daniel introduced Nikki to Daisy when they made a date for drinks at the Rovers that evening. Nikki drops Daisy in the by revealing the lie as Daniel moves south. While Glory's nursery asks Michael to bring in a collection of family photos. This leads Michael to discover that Aggie has deleted a photo of Grace from his bag. Michael points out that Grace might return one day and he still wants her to be a part of Glory's life. That causes Michael to vow to solve the problem himself when he finds out where Grace is and invites her to Glory's birthday party. Aggie, Ed, and James all secretly hoped that Michael would not succeed in his mission.